Hey y'all, hey world. It's Danny, the multiple streams queen. I just wanted to answer a question that I get asked a lot. So it's here. Answer it for everybody. People ask, how can they find properties? How can I find properties? Well, don't overcomplicate it. Do not overthink it. Literally, all you need to do is go to Apartmentscom, filter the search, and look for corporate housing or corporate leasing. They can be different, but sometimes apartments and businesses kind of interchange the word. So you filter for those places, and that's kind of where you start at. That does not mean that if an apartment says that they don't offer corporate leasing or corporate housing, that they may actually offer corporate leasing. So you can start at the ones that actually say that they do corporate leasing or corporate housing or short-term rentals or something like to that effect. And there can be different, right? So corporate housing or short-term leasing or short-term rentals could be that the apartment complex or that particular business may already have their own short-term rental set up that they rent to people, right? Or it could mean that they actually do corporate leasing, which essentially is kind of them renting to businesses, right? So you want to make sure that they actually will lease to a business entity, because that is the rental arbitrage way. You do not want to get a personal lease and then just put it on Airbnb, right? That is not something that you want to do, because again, a lot of lease agreements have clauses in there or restrictions about subleasing. And so if you're taking the property, you're renting it from the owner, and then you turn around and you put it on Airbnb, that would technically be subleasing if you're doing it under a personal lease, right? Which you could get evicted for that. And big complexes, depending on how petty they want to be, the reason why I tell people to stay away from that is because they could hold you liable for the remaining, for however long you were supposed to hold the lease. So if you're 2 months into a 12-month lease and you get caught and you get evicted, they could say, hey, you still owe us 10 months, right? You still owe us 10 months of rent because we didn't breach any contract. You breached the contract, which caused your eviction, so we still want our money, right? They can come after you for those 10 months of rent. They can sue you. Again, it depends on how far they want to take it. Some will just, call it a loss, let you go, and be done with it. And others will sue you or put it on your credit report, and you risk messing up your credit for something that you didn't have to do. So anyhow, I digress. So back to how you find places, right? So you start on apartments.com, you put that filter in, and so those are the places that you want to start calling and asking them essentially if they lease to businesses, if they do any corporate leasing to business entities. Again, you have to get your business model down. I don't know what it is that you want to do, who you're going to be serving. I don't know. You have to figure that part out. That's not something that I will tell you here on the YouTube world. But you got to get your business model down. Just calling people and asking them, do they do corporate leasing, does not mean that you can do Airbnb. Calling people, asking them, hey, can I use your apartment for Airbnb? 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you no. So that's another no. That's not something I would advise you to do. Don't call them and ask them, do they do rental arbitrage? Can I sublease your apartment? Because they're going to tell you no. The very first thing that you need to do is have your business model down. Who is it that you want to serve? What does your business do? Who is it you want to serve? How do you want to serve them? So that's something that you have to figure out. And then you can start reaching out, making contact with these different apartment complexes and asking them if they do corporate leasing, and then set up a tour, and that's when you pitch your business model. A lot of people go in on the very first phone call, and either they're trying to use a script, and I don't like using scripts because, again, scripts, you sound scripted. So I personally don't like using a script. And then not only that, you probably sound like the other 5 or 10 people that have called them today using the same exact script. So that's why I don't encourage people to use scripts. I don't use them. I have some, but I don't use them because for that reason, right? That same script that I have, I'm sure thousands of people have it, and they're calling, and they all, you know, after the apartment complexes, they keep hearing the same spiel time and time and time again. They just shut you down. You want to get past the gatekeeper. You want to build some type of rapport, right? You want to come off as a business owner. You're doing business here, okay? You're trying to do business. So you want to get past that gatekeeper and kind of get past that barrier that has been put up because so many people are trying to do Airbnb. So they're calling with the same script. They're calling with the same nonsense. And people are like, nope, 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 nope. Right? And so another thing that you may run into is the complex may do corporate leasing. They may be okay with your business model. But what can happen is they could be at capacity with corporate leases. So you may have to wait, put them on a list to call them back at a certain date because they can't do any more corporate leases at this given time, right? So just put them down to call them back later. So that has happened a lot. We have run into incidents where complexes just altogether take away their corporate leasing program. Like they just stopped doing it. So that has happened as well. And then another thing that happens very frequently is, unfortunately, you may have someone new in the office, or they just don't know that the property management company actually does corporate leasing. And they tell you, no, we don't do that. And they actually do. Right? Another way that you can find properties is there are a lot of homes for rent as well. Start reaching out to those homeowners to see if you can rent their property. You do not have to start off in an apartment. It is totally up to you. The apartments, I like apartments because it's I don't have to deal with the maintenance. If something were to go wrong, I don't have to call in somebody to fix this or to fix that. I can just put in a maintenance request and we be done with it, right? So that's really why I like apartments. The spaces are not so big, and for the people that I'm serving, I don't need a big, huge house. I literally just need a 1-bedroom or a studio, and they're going to be good. So that's why I don't go the house route. But you absolutely can start with the house. So many people overlook that, and they just go and they're calling these apartments and they get no. And they get discouraged and they're like, I can't find a place. You're overthinking it. Think outside of the box. All right, y'all. Signing off. If you like what you're hearing, please share, please subscribe. I will keep dropping gems. I'm actually, we provide different services for different business owners, and one of them is turnkey services. So for people that are too busy or they have a lot going on, they're juggling a lot and they don't have time to do it, we do everything. Essentially, we take your business information and we do all the calling and the researching, and we get you a lease. We furnish it, we take pictures, we actually list it on Airbnb for you. And then we just hand you over your furnished apartment that is already on Airbnb. So I'm actually leaving later today to go to Miami for a business meeting, and then Monday I'll be in Houston setting up some turnkey units for one of our clients. So I'll take you guys on that journey with us as well. But again, if you're new to my page, welcome. I'll be sharing more tips and tricks about Airbnb, about my journey, and also just other things that we're going through, the good, the bad, the ugly, and showing you some of the turnkey units that we're setting up for other people. So again, subscribe, share to anybody else who you think needs the information. And every week I'll be dropping some gems. All right, y'all. Signing off.